Welcome to a beginner's to advanced mobility routine without too much fluff. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to go straight into things. I won't talk too much. Well, if I am talking, I will be moving and you can be doing things. So this is a follow along and I will build you up as we go along. Also, the advanced things that I show you, you can move into over a period of time, months or years, etc. Or you might be at a higher level and go straight into that as well. So first things first, we could do a warm-up. It's recommended, especially if you're a beginner and unconditioned, do a little warm-up. I'll give you a quick idea. So because we'll be working on most of the joints in our body, like the ankles, the hips, thoracic spine, and the shoulders, jumping jacks are good. 1, 2, 3, 4, Frankenstein kick, right into left, hip circle, single leg, other side, Frankenstein, hip circle, jumping jacks, just do 4, then right leg into left arm, hip circle, other side, and so on. So that's a little warm-up that you could do. You could continue right now while I talk about other things, or you can just focus on what I'm saying. Now, personally, I've been doing training for many years. So if I'm not in an environment where it's very cold, I'll just go straight into my mobility work, but at a more shallow range. What I mean by that is, for example, the curtsy lunge. The curtsy lunge, I can go all the way down, but to use it as a warm-up, I would only go shallow right here, bang, other side. Then arms overhead. I can go all the way here, but if I'm not warm, I'll just go to here, half range. And basically that principle you apply to everything you're going to do in the mobility workout. Okay, so I'll start with body weight work. And that means that you can stick to that as you progress, or at some stage you can add a kettlebell. But when you add a kettlebell, you only want to do that once you've mastered the actual movement without weight. Now, we're going to start with the curtsy lunge. We're going to incorporate that and build up the routine from that. So let's get started with a shallow curtsy lunge. Back up, this foot stays flat, now this one stays flat. The moment this foot comes off the ground, you know that you're going too far. At the back, I'm on the ball of my foot. Doing a lot of work with the hips to stabilize this hip, keep it straight. There should be no pressure on the knee joint. Really use the glutes, the muscles in your buttocks. Only come as low as you can go while keeping that foot flat at the front. These are things that you need to work up over time, okay? So it's not going to happen today probably if you're a beginner that you're going all the way down. Don't do that. You'll end up with knee pain. Okay, so we'll do a set of that, and from there we're going to work our way up. So I'm going to move all the way down, so it's called the reverse curtsy get-up. I'm going to go down. If you're a beginner, don't go down and just wait. So this is where I'm going to go. Then foot flat at the back, then sit back, and legs straight. As a beginner, you would go from here, just hand down, kick out. So one more time. If you're more advanced, then do the following. If you're not and you're working your way up, keep it in mind. So you might want to watch this video again a month down the track or 2 months down the track. curtsy, knee down, foot flat, then sit back. I'm pressing this knee into the ground, the shin, pressing this into the ground, sitting back. You don't want to plop down. If you're plopping down, it means that you're going too fast, too soon. From here, legs out. Okay, so if you're at the beginning of your journey, just sit down like this. From here, we're going to go into the next move, which is the 90-90, super important for the hips. I'm going to pull my legs to the right, so feet to the right. If you're a beginner, place this hand here and lean to your left and pull them in. If you need to, use your hands. Here, you want to push this into the ground, your left knee, your left shin, your left thigh. Push it into the ground. You're working those hip abductors, external hip rotation. Everything you're working here. Now, if you're a beginner, you're probably here and struggling. Use that assistance. Here, shin flat, dorsum of the foot flat, close to your butt. And just sit there for a bit, get used to it. Now I'm going to swap to the other side. If you're a beginner, do it with assistance. Out, to the front, other arm, lean to the side and pull it in, or pull it in with your arm. Eventually, you want to do it unassisted. So in the beginning, it's okay to use assistance, because all you're doing is getting used to the movement and the positions. So here, internal hip rotation, super important. If you don't have good internal hip rotation, make sure that you keep leaning to the side. If you don't do that, you will feel pain in your knees later on. So even with squatting and all that, if you're having issues, it could be because your hip is not flexible. Your ankle is not flexible. This is where all this comes into play. Okay, so it doesn't mean that your knee is bad. Yes, your knee is probably bad from doing it incorrectly all the time, but it could be that the issues are here. Okay, we're going to swap to the other side again. Do it with assistance or without assistance. Eventually, you want to get to the point where you can do it without assistance. Really stay straight with the back. Pull in. Push. Push. Here, I want to get my butt flat to the ground, but again, that might not happen in one day. It might not happen in a month. Another thing you can do here is fold at the hips. Reach and really press the knees into the ground, toes towards you, and fold at the hips. So use this here rather than this here. So I could bend forward and I'm making distance, I'm making range, but it's not happening at the hips, and that's where you want it, at the hips. So fold forward, other side. Really sit in that position for a bit. There's no need to do this fast. This is about increasing mobility, which is ease of movement. Let's get back to the front. Fold. Other side. Ease of movement includes strength, or it requires strength, coordination, range of motion, flexibility, and so much more. So mobility is not just one thing. Keep doing this. Okay, we're going to add something to this sequence. So we're really working those hips, but we're also working on the ankles, because getting the dorsum flat here works on the tibialis anterior. Sorry, yes, the tibialis anterior, that's your front. And a lot of people have issues getting their feet flat. So work on it. It's because you're tight at the front. Stretching is also about releasing. It's not about keeping tension on the muscles and then stretching. That's gonna damage your tendons. Okay, what we're adding is our right leg is gonna come over the left. If you're a beginner, left hand out, lean to your left as much as you need to. You might even have to come all the way here. Then straighten the leg, then rotate with the dorsum facing up, then bring it over. Here, you might have to help, assistance. Eventually, if you get to that point, you want to do all this without assistance. So out, in. You're working on increasing that mobility. We're going to stick to this sequence. Back. Every time get into a good position. And if you feel like you're locking up, if you feel cramps, just get out of it and stop for a bit and focus more on releasing. You might need to warm up more. Okay, from here, we're going to switch to the front, fold at the front, feet to the other side, then leg over our left, here I'm really coming forward with my torso, pressing this foot into the ground, pressing this shin and dorsum into the ground to maintain my balance. Back into 90-90. Try and get that spine straight. Then out to the front. Fold. Reach. To the other side, 90-90. Then leg over. Now you've got a little sequence. You could work on that and stay with this for the next month or 2 or 6 weeks. Make yourself a little journal. You could add more to it. You could incorporate the shoulder and the thoracic spine rotation, which is super important. But if you don't do it often, don't go too far. So I'm going to go down, bring this arm up. You should watch first and then listen and decide how deep you're going to go. I'm looking at this hand overhead. This elbow comes to my right and I'm pressing into the ground. So I'm working on strength here as well. Also in the glutes, because I'm pressing this leg into the ground, we're creating strength. My shoulder touches my knee. I'm looking at this hand, pushing into the ground, coming up. Okay, if you want to do this, then you will start here. Just this rotation of the spine. And then you work your way down over time. Then, if you're getting advanced, you will add a weight to this. All right, let's finish our sequence. Legs to the front, fold. Legs to the other side. Watch how I bring this dorsum flat to the ground, and sometimes even I need a little bit of assistance and bring it in. Then from here, leg over. Leg back. Arm up. 90-90 windmill. doing this correctly. Everything should be tense here. You'll feel your core working, so it's core work as well. Okay, so you can stick to this for a bit, or we can move on to more advanced stuff, adding more to the routine. I want to incorporate the shin box because the shin box is also really good. So here we go, out to the front, then feet flat, then 90-90 one side, 90-90 other side, and straight, and fold. Legs to the other side, leg over, leg back, 90-90, windmill. Legs to the front, in, shin box, and you can repeat that routine and you can keep adding to it. So if you're a beginner, make sure that you start with just the basics, stick to that for a while and really master it. Don't go too fast too soon, because you're going to get cramps and just have the opposite effect of what we want. You will damage yourself. So once again, stretching is all about releasing. It's about working those stretch reflexes. So your body has stretch reflexes that say, hey, we're ending the end range. You need to stop. And relaxing that muscle and telling your stretch reflexes, I can do this, we're safe, I know where we're going. That's something that you develop over time. So again, stretching is not tension and just ripping it apart, because that's a lot of tension on your tendons. That's when you get issues around your tendons, and you should understand where they are located. So your tendons are connected to your bones. In between that is a muscle. The muscle contracts, and usually those tendons are connected over a joint, and that's why you get movement. It's all about relaxing. Okay, so we got this little routine. Let's add a little bit more to it. Okay, straight, shin box, straight, 90-90. Leg over. From here, I'm going to get up. So I started going down on that curtsy lunge. Now I'm going to get up on that same position. I'm going to press this left shin into the ground, my right foot into the ground. I'm going to shift my weight over the hips, my arms out. That will help put the weight here. Then I start pressing into the ground. Arms overhead. Remember that I came up on this leg, so I have to go back on the left. Shin down, rotate at the hips, gently come down, not plonking. Then back into 90-90, windmill, fold, feet flat, shin box, 90-90. Leg over. Get up. Arms over. Head. Back down. It's all about slow and controlled. If you can't do it slow and controlled, you don't own the movement. Windmill. Okay, so that's quite a bit that I've shown you there, and there's a lot of work on the ankles. At the front here, we're stretching. Obviously, we're working on strength as well. We're working the quads, getting up, etc. We're really working on the hips with external rotation, internal rotation. We're working on the spine with thoracic rotation right here. We're working on internal, external shoulder rotation. So all these things are super good for increasing your mobility. Because as I said in the beginning, mobility consists of a lot of attributes: strength, coordination, range of motion, and so much more. Flexibility, etc. So we got this routine, and once you're advanced, you can add a kettlebell to it, because this is simply not providing the feedback that you need anymore. Now, of course, all this looks cool, but you shouldn't do it unless you have mastered everything and feel comfortable. So feeling comfortable means that at the end of the session, you're walking away feeling good, and the next day you feel good. That's important, the next day. If you don't have that, then you're just going to ask for injury by adding a weight to it. So let's add a weight and show some things that you can do with the kettlebell. It's really cool. Once again, don't do it unless you're ready. So I'm gonna grab a 12 kilo, which is quite light. Even an 8 would be good. I'm just gonna do a few of the movements and maybe add something to it as well. I'm just gonna freestyle it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is insert the hand, and grip is super important. So I'm gonna come forward, fold at the hips, and even this here is already working on flexibility and strength coming up if you do it right. Here, this is important, right here, 45 degrees. Close the hand, just loosely, and then curl. And curling is good. I love curling. Curling is functional. Okay, now we're gonna work on the shoulders and the spine. Press and windmill. We're working on the glutes on the left as well, and the core. Stabilization of the shoulder. Racket. Now I'm gonna do the leg over. And I'm gonna get up. Then I'm gonna do a high windmill. Which is with more focus on the thoracic spine and the shoulder. Racket. No rushing. Back into that reverse curtsy. So the curtsy, reverse curtsy get up. My shin is down. My right foot is pressing into the ground. Rotate. Sit. Straight back. Bring it to the other side. So I lift it with my right. Now I'm going to lift with my left. Curl rather. Good grip. Lean forward. Press into the ground. Curl. Press. Stabilize. Rotate. If you have to do this fast, it means that your weight is too heavy and you're just going too fast too soon. Leg over. Press. High windmill. I could be here for hours talking to you about the possibilities of increasing this routine and adding more exercises, etc. But I'm not going to do that because you're going to get bored. There's a lot more information about all these things on our website. It's called CAVEMANROM. One more thing I'm going to show you, and that is great for the shoulders. Base facing up, right hip, nothing moves apart from my shoulders and elbows. Left ear, nice and controlled, behind the head, right ear, left hip. You're also working on wrist strength here. Back the way it came, right ear, left ear, right hip. I'm going to add something to that. Back to where it came. Now rotate. Arms straight, wrist curl. Rotate, arm straight, wrist curl. Okay, so most of the times the extremities are not worked with people, and strong wrists are super important. Everything here, rotation, flexion, extension, etc. It's super important to do with some weight. A lot of times I see people with issues around their elbows, and it can be fixed by working all these movements with a light dumbbell. So, for example, right here, creating like a circle, going through all range of motions that the wrist can do. I'm supporting here because I just want to work on the wrist. Then flexion, extension, slow and control is super important. Here, forearm rotation. If you increase the strength right here in this forearm, you are going to have less issues overall as well, especially with your tendons, etc. Okay, so really there's so much that I could tell you about and I'm really passionate about. Again, If you're interested, check out CAVEMANROM, or come and join us in the Caveman Inner Circle. We got several memberships. We got YouTube memberships as well, where you just pay $9.95 and then you get access to the videos on YouTube. It's below. Membership playlist. There will be workouts with a kettlebell. Then we get body weight work. There will be a kettlebell work for mobility. We got so many workouts. They're very, very unique. Check out the memberships, and I hope to see you there. If you got questions, come and join us in one of the groups. We got over 200,000 people combined in all our social media groups, kettlebell communities, and so on. Come and check that out and say hello. And feel free to post videos and ask questions as well. I will always answer. Anna can answer. Other caveman trainers can answer. And I hope to see you there. And one last thing, if you want to get certified in kettlebells, check out the website. We have online kettlebell certifications. They are unmatched with anything else that you've seen. See you there. Hey there, I hope you'll come and join our YouTube membership. It's only $9.95 a month. So if you'd go to Starbucks and get 2 coffees or eat at McDonald's once, that would be the same amount. But this time you're investing money into yourself. So it's a lot better. Invest your money here on yourself. For that, you're gonna get follow along workouts and warm-ups. Just for $9.95 a month, you get access to the playlist on our channel. So you don't need to go anywhere else. You get full-length workouts, kettlebell workouts. Now, the great thing is they're unique workouts. You won't find these anywhere else because we combine the workouts with mobility, flexibility, dynamic stretching, and so on. We got endurance workouts, we got cardio workouts, high intensity, strength, mobility, and so much more. We mix things up, so it's a lot of fun, the workouts. And the great thing is, when you're a member, all you do is press play and follow along. There'll be a warm-up and there'll be a workout. Now, there are several levels. The minimal level is the $9.95 follow along kettlebell workouts. It's great value. If that's all you want, great, go for it. But then there's also different levels where you get more access. So if you upgrade, you get access to more videos, technique, common mistakes, alternatives and progressions, programming and prep work, cool down, and so much more. There's like, for one session, you could have like 90 minutes of video or more, and they're all broken down. It's great. But like I said, if you just want it simple, if you just want to click play and follow along to the workout, then go for the $9.95 and just get the follow along workouts. So we might be doing some powerful snatches with a heavy weight for a minute, and then we might do some body weight work for a minute and back into the snatching. So it's like your active recovery. So we're hiding all that work that you should be doing outside of your workout in the workout. So that's a great thing. You get the benefits of the strength, the speed, the endurance, but you also get the benefit of the flexibility and the mobility all in one. Now, not all workouts obviously have mobility work included. We also have workouts just focused on strength, pure strength. Then we have workouts focused on pure mental toughness, endurance, and just keep going and not being able to put the weight down, etc. Now, these workouts are not just for people in the 50s or 60s or 40s or 30s, they're for everybody. These workouts are for everybody. And you can always ask questions as well, so that's the great thing. We're real people. And there's, of course, there's a computer between us, but we provide real customer service the old-fashioned way. If you send an email, there won't be a robot that will try and understand what you're trying to say. Real people will reply, even on the channel, or if you join some of the Facebook groups as well, we will reply. Real people, real results. So I hope to see you in the membership. And again, if you have any questions, ask below.